if I were a company with less than 50 employees, what should I do? Like what's a litmus test for, is my plan a good plan today? In my opinion, it's always going to be, first of all, are you self-insured? If you're not, I think it would take extenuating circumstances for that to be a good choice. If you're not offering coverage, I also think it would take extenuating circumstances for that to be a good choice. And let me explain why. Beginning from the spectrum of not offering coverage. I'm not offering coverage because I don't have to by law. We're pretty scrappy. We have a close team of employees and nobody seems to be whining about it so far. However, in your pay, your employees, most of them are not running around uninsured. They're doing something. You're missing an opportunity to let them buy that coverage without payroll tax, and for you to pay a portion of their wages without payroll tax. And you can do that really unintrusively with a health reimbursement account. There's a qualified small employer HRA, Section 105 plan, QSE, HRA, these are all synonymous terms, where you can reimburse employees for premiums only. And you can reimburse however small amount you want, and you can let them contribute to the employer plan, and they can pay their premiums through the plan. And at a minimum, today, it's 15.3% cheaper than what you're both doing on those wages right now. It makes sense for every reason in the world between a cafeteria plan or a Section 105 plan to pay employee premiums for their health insurance unintrusively, if that's all you can do to begin with, which is what our company did for years and we loved it. After that, if you want to get into providing claims, like real experience for your employees where they have a plan that covers certain claims or acts as a real self-funded health insurance plan as an employer, there are options for that. The best way to get into those options is to track your claims experience through more like the first plan I was explaining, where you just cover premiums, but you have a process for submitting expenses and tracking claims. So if you do that, then you can build your way up to where insurers will give you good rates, which for employers with less than 50 employees, because the law hasn't mandated that they get insurance, they just haven't offered it that often. And because of that, all of the people who offer the stop loss coverage, which is the coverage that keeps you from going too far out of pocket when you self-insure, it's not health insurance, it's stop loss coverage. Those plans haven't seen enough employers under 50 employees really offer insurance to be competitive in this space. So there's just not a huge market for it, i.e. they don't really want you. And so there are some ways popping up where you can participate in a group of other small employers and get pretty competitive rates from stop loss coverage. If you want to offer something more comprehensive, that's what our plan documents provide, is like an easy way to get into that space and understand where is like the point where this becomes worth it for me. When is my stop loss coverage, when they don't know how to insure you because you have no claims history and you're small, can be really expensive, because nothing's worse than an insurance company that doesn't know what kind of risk they're getting into. They'll just price it through the roof. So if they're doing that, in the beginning, there's a way to like beat that down by participating with other employers. If you can track your claims history for a while, the premiums come way down. So there's a return point that we help with, which is at what point does this become worth it where I jump over? And the advantage to jumping over is more flexibility, way more value for your employees. They get better coverage for less cost. So it's just overall like more efficiency and more goodwill and retention in the case of your employees. So that's why someone would look to make that jump. And if you have less than 50 employees, those are your two options. Premium only plans, kind of edging your way into offering true self-insured coverage when you can get a stop loss plan that the premiums make sense.